Hello. Now, some of you may be aware that over the weekend, Auto China 2020 happened in Beijing, and this is a huge car show in China. Nio made some really impressive big announcements, and I'm going to go over them in this video on what's so exciting about them and why it's making me so happy that I'm invested in Nio and looking forward to the numbers that we're going to see coming up. So one thing that Nio announced was that they are launching new chargers. These new power-up chargers are kind of like Nio's version of the Tesla superchargers. They're nowhere near as fast, however they are a lot cheaper. So they're a lot faster than a standard charger. They are a lot cheaper than a supercharger. They're kind of like somewhere in between, which is a real great step up. They can charge your car in what Nio is saying is the time that it takes you to watch a film or have your meal, which, considering other car chargers, you can be talking about waiting overnight. So this is really great news, and they're pushing these chargers out all across China. They've launched loads of partnership schemes, and they're working really hard on getting as many of these out as they can. Now, obviously, a big difference between Nio and Tesla is the fact that Nio actually allows anyone to use their chargers. And so much to the fact that over 90% of usage of Nio chargers has been from non-Nio users. So you can imagine the revenue that's coming in there for Nio. And on top of that, it's also great publicity for Nio, and it's increasing brand awareness. You know, because if you've got an EV and you're going to a charger, and it's a really great charger that's charging your car up really fast, you're going to be then considering Nio as a future possibility for your car. Nio also announced some really great news regarding the ES6. Now, the ES6 has been China's top-selling SUV in the electric market over the past 11 months. That's 11 consecutive months that they have been the top-selling electric SUV. On top of that, globally, they have been the best-selling electric SUV in the luxury category this quarter. So that kind of gives you a good idea on not only the sales level, but in comparison to other car manufacturers at this time, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, obviously, there aren't a huge number of other competitors in this category, but it still shows Nio's level of dominance, which is superb. Nio also announced that over 1 billion kilometers has now been driven in Nio vehicles, which is more than any other Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer. So again, they've got so many vehicles out there driving on the roads, which is going to increase brand recognition. It's going to do amazing things for this brand going forward. With the charging as well, Nio has got its own charging app for all its charging options. This has become such a popular app that it's now the most popular charging app in China. So chances are, if you're an electric vehicle driver in China, Nio or not, you will have the Nio app, which again just helps to build that brand recognition, that brand dominance, and it shows that Nio is the luxury brand, the go-to place. So it means that more and more customers are going to end up upgrading themselves where and when possible to the Nio brand. And finally, and to me, one of the most promising signs is that Nio is now moving that step closer to Tesla with regards to the autopilot function. So they are now rolling out an update, which is kind of like an autopilot function. This will tell the driver when they're on a specific stretch of road that they can switch the vehicle over to an autopilot. The vehicle will then continue to drive, change lanes, and check other vehicles on the road and adjust itself to come off of the road when you get to your junction. Now, obviously, like I said, Tesla does already do this. However, Nio have been developing their own software to do this, and that's the stage where they're at now. Now, obviously, one important thing is that there's not many vehicles on the market that can do this functionality at this time. So this is, for me, a really big move, and it's showing Nio as being the lead in this position right now in China. Now, one criticism of Tesla, or one thing that people often criticize of Tesla, is that they don't really do proper checks on the driver to make sure that the driver's paying attention. Nio has gone a step further, and they are using the onboard camera to check for fatigue of the driver. So they're doing a number of tests to make sure that the driver is paying attention. Now, the reason that that is important is because the publicity of when Tesla, for example, has an accident in their cars, it's a lot harder for them to kind of go, look, this is exactly what was happening. Whereas now Nio will be in that position to go, that really wasn't our fault because of this. But it also stops people from abusing the system and having accidents and then trying to pass the blame, which is often what happens with Tesla. You get people that have an accident that was their fault, and then they kind of go, it was because of this, which creates the bad publicity, which then, even though Tesla or Nio would be able to refute it, it still creates that negative headline, and that's what people read, is the headlines. So Nio is going to be working really hard to avoid those headlines altogether, which will overall help the brand as well. So some really, really great news as far as I can see coming out of the auto show. Really excited about what's going to be happening soon. We've already seen a slight bump in the Nio pre-market price, but having said that, it's fairly in line with a lot of other big growth stocks as well. So I'm not sure how much of that is actually from the auto show. We'll see over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll be up to 20 in no time. Anyway, see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.